Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 22 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. Oh boy, we've got something happening over here. What's happening over here? I suspect you might be full. You're full. Okay, cool. What are you full of? You're full of wood. Remember I told you we were going to get crazy shenanigans with wood? I was not lying. Let's upgrade our drawer and let's talk about some other things that I might want to... I mean, like, we could leave that way. Not a big deal. But we totally should probably look at doing a drawer upgrade. So let's do those. These guys are not too terrible to make. You know what I could do is... Let's do wood. Then we should be able to make a few more of these. Cool. Do one of those. Nice. So I think... I'll go with an iron upgrade for now because we don't have like a huge amount of resources that I can just say whatever to. But long story short, each upgrade to drawers allows you to install, basically say to have more available space. And I think there's 5. If you shift right click, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 now upgrades available. So iron is 4 times, obsidian is 2 times, gold 8, diamond 16, emerald is 32, and then you can do flint, which reduces it to the point where you can only store a single stack. And then there's some other upgrades, like you can emit redstone signals and void upgrades and conversion upgrades and all kinds of other stuff. Creative ones are obviously, you know, not available. They don't have a crafting recipe. They're creative mode only. So a bunch of cool upgrades you can install here. And you can install multiple. So like if you wanted to, you could install 7 emerald upgrades, which would basically be a stupid amount of storage. But it would be cool. I'm going to just right click to install that dude. And now he's able to store more wood, which means you should start clearing out space. Nice. Until it overloads the wood again, basically. But hey, it's working again. So that's cool. It's going to clear out large swaths of stuff. Nice. And you should have no problem filling up. I'm guessing it's still traveling over there. There it goes. It's kind of slow because I don't have any like speed up. It's just basic item ducts. There we go. Now they're showing up. Sweet. I should like organize the stuff in here so that it's a little bit easier. Okay, cool. I gotcha. So what if can I move you? Not easily. I guess it's not super easy to organize that. Anyway, basic drawers can store more stuff now. You're gonna chop down all the trees, and that's up and running again. Another thing that's working better, I've recently updated to the newest version of the Direwolf20 pack. So there's been some cool stuff fixed, one of them being covers on these guys. So I should be able to now put a plane on there and see how it's rendering properly. Oh yeah. Now the trick with this is you want to hold shift with it and it'll kind of let you put it wherever you want instead of trying to snap to an existing block. And if you shift mouse wheel, it'll kind of rotate a little bit so that it's oriented properly. So what I'm going to do is place it there. And how cool does that look? Nicely covered. Now connected textures won't connect, obviously, as you can see, but you know, it's all good. Still is a covered block, and that's neat. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and stick you in here where you belong, and we are done working with chisels and bits for the time being. But maybe we'll play with it a little bit more later. I don't know. You can do some really cool stuff with chisels and bits if you're better at things than me, which are most people. Today, I'd like to work on something cool. Alright guys, I'm downstairs playing with my refined storage system, obviously. I might want an extra elevator. That might not be a bad... It'll just save me running back and forth. How am I for wool? Yeah, I've got enough string. Okay, cool. And then an ender pearl. We can just stick like an elevator right here, right? That'd probably be cool. Just because I want to. Yeah, that just makes things a little bit easier to get around. So what I'm working on is, first I'd like to do some upgrades. We're going to need more glass, I guess. This stuff. Oh, that does work. Cool. Okay, neat. So that'll do. I definitely want like a bunch of upgrades. We're going to need more quartz enriched iron. So let's get a stack of that, which should be cool. Nice. This, I'm going to basically put these in here. And we're going to want a few more upgrades. Whoops. There we go. Basically, I want lots and lots of speed upgrades. Maybe not lots and lots, but enough to keep these two machines running at a pretty decent speed. Because we're about to do a lot of soldering, and my goal is to, you know, be able to do it quickly. What I'd like to work on today is a bit of AutoCrafting. Now, there's a couple different approaches we can take to AutoCrafting if we wish. See how much faster that is? Like, that's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. So if we want to do these now, like, boom. Hugely noticeably different. I like it. How's my silicon situation doing? I've got a bit. So if I wanted to, I could snag 1, 2 of those, and then this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got some advanced processors. Cool. What I want to start working towards is AutoCrafting things. And to get that going, we're going to need crafters. Crafters are the way that in refined storage, you can go about AutoCrafting things. So, how does this work? First off, we're going to need a machine casing here. And then we're going to need a construction core and a destruction core. And that should be about it. Hooray! And we also need the 2 advanced processors, but we're cool there. We got those. So crafters allow you to basically AutoCraft with a bunch of stuff, either with machines or vanilla crafting tables. So the difference there, a vanilla crafting table is anything you can make in this, right? And machine is something like one of these guys, where like you put in one item and you get out another item, or you put in multiple items and you get out some items or something like that, right? So your machines are like input-output, where what I refer to as vanilla crafting recipes basically means it's any crafting recipe that's craftable in a vanilla crafting table, or in this crafting table, right? And it doesn't mean vanilla items. So like this is what I call a vanilla crafting recipe. It's made in a crafting table. It's not something like this, which is made in a machine, right? Just picking examples out of the sky. So the approach that we're going to take here is basically as follows. We will first start off with vanilla crafting table recipes, and then we'll probably want to start automating things like the solderers if we can. So that sound cool? So for this, we're going to need some cables, but then the other thing we're going to need is a new type of grid. The grid that we're going to need is the pattern grid. This is what allows us to create the patterns that we're going to use to do our vanilla crafting recipes. So for this, we're going to need a basic grid, for which we have nothing. So that's cool. How are we on sand? Do we have like any sand? We have some. Let's go smelt some of that up to do cobbleworks. Well, we have a bit. Sand can go back in there. So a grid is going to need another construction core and another destruction core and a bit more gold times 2 redstone and silicon. Okay, we should be good here. So I'll put 1, 2 in there, and I'll put these guys in here. I'll put these, and these, and that'll get me the 2 of these dudes that I'm going to need. And then up here, we can make our grid. Cool? Cool. All right, so now that that's built, we want to get a pattern. Patterns are made like so. Pretty straightforward to make, not terrible. We'll go ahead and combine this, and one of these to get ourselves a pattern grid. Cool. I usually put my pattern grid right here, so all that fancy work that I did to get, you know, things working in a fanciful way with covers, already eliminated, but that's okay, because there will probably be instances in the future where we want to cover up some cables, especially when we start working on our fancier base, which I haven't quite gotten to yet. So with that going now, we can make patterns. So we're going to want to make one of these to start, right? And what I'll do is I'll place this in here. And the first pattern I usually like to teach this thing is how to make a pattern. So all you do in the pattern grid is specify what goes in and what comes out. And you can basically, as we saw, JEI, click the pattern in there and it works great. So when we hit that, we can see that this makes a pattern. The output is a blank pattern from Refined Storage, and the input is 3 glass, 3 redstone, and some quartz enriched iron. Sweet. So for now, I think I'll start like right around here-ish. Does that sound like a good place for a crafter? So our crafter lights up, it's working, and then you just place your patterns in this slot up here. Now, our Refined Storage system knows how to make patterns. So you can see that we don't have any patterns available. It's telling us we can craft one. I click on it, I tell it how many I want, I hit start. It calculates how many resources I need for the total, and then hit start. Beautiful. And it just made me 2 patterns using up the resources that we just designated. How cool is that? I should probably also teach you how to make quartz enriched iron because there will probably come a point here. I don't know when. But if I said, give me another pattern, it's going to say, we don't have quartz enriched iron. That was kind of lucky that just kind of happened to be a thing that was there, right? So what we'll do is we'll teach it and say, hey, you can make quartz enriched iron, by the way, using iron and quartz. So now when I go to say, give me a pattern, it's going to say, hey, cool, I need to make a pattern. And for that, I need 3 quartz enriched iron. So I'm going to craft it. And in order to craft it, I need the 1 quartz and the 3 iron, which are available. So it's saying now you've got these items available. This is what needs to be crafted. These items are available, and this will be crafted at the end. And then boom, we've got our pattern. Nice. The crafting process is not slow, but you can speed it up with speed upgrades here. And also, there's a whole mod in the pack that augments this, and it's called Reborn Storage. And basically, it's a giant multi-block of crafters. It's the way it works. And you can put like a bunch of crafting recipes in it. It's a large multi-block, but it's a little expensive in that you require some crafting frames, which need pretty much 5 gold per crafting frame. And since it's a multi-block, you need a lot of those. And you need a lot of iron as well. And then you'll need some other stuff in order to get it whirling. We'll take a look at Reborn Storage probably a little bit later on in the series. For now, we're going to hold off on that. But I would also like to do... So let's do this. Let's set up crafters for soldering. So there's basically a few soldering recipes that we might want to teach this thing, right? So there's gold, there's iron, there's diamonds, and then there's combining them into and silicon, right? So if we wanted to say there's 4 base components, right? So there's silicone, gold, iron, and diamonds. Those are the 4 base components that you do. And then there's combining those base components into something else. Now, pretty much all of those require silicon. So there's a couple ways we could lay this out. We could have a solderer that's dedicated to silicon. What I'm thinking is, let's have 2 solderers. One that's set up to do like silicon and iron, and the other that's set up to do gold and diamonds. Does that sound fair? Or maybe silicon and diamonds and gold and iron. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But let's do another solderer first. That's pretty much going to be our first step here. So I'm going to want 1, 2 of you. 1, 2 of you. And now I need some more quartz enriched iron. I could craft it, or I could just say, hey, auto-craft it for me, and then boom. See how that works? Beautiful. Auto-crafting for the win. Now, I wouldn't mind doing a speed upgrade or 4 in those things, but we'll have to get to that in a minute. For now, let's get a crafter set up. And I might want to teach you how to make crafters. Yeah, I'm going to hold off on teaching you how to make crafters. Let's get... So there's 2 ways I could do this. I could either dump all the crafting recipes into a chest, or I could put a crafter on each solderer. I think to save resources, I should dump it all into a chest and use item conduits to determine what goes where and how it gets crafted. Does that sound fair? I think that sounds fair. So that's what we're going to do. Boom. So in order to get this, we're going to need a construction core, and we're going to need a destruction core, and then we should be able to make ourselves a crafter with more quartz enriched iron. Let's get a stack of this stuff. Boom. See, told you it's not like super fast to craft, but it's pretty fast. It's not terrible. Crafter. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. And then we'll get a chest. Spiders, please. Where are you at, spider? Me and you are going to have words, Mr. Spider, hanging out on my roof. Always with the spiders on Dyer's roof. Okay. So, we might want to... I have to figure out the sidedness of this and how it's going to work. But let's first start off with, we're going to get filters, and we're going to get servos, and we're probably going to need more servos. So let's get some iron-based servos if I can. Hardened works, actually. Might need a couple of these. That should be good. And item ducts. So I'm not 100% sure how the sidedness of this whole thing works. But basically, we're going to want to do the following. And we might wind up putting a chest here with a crafter facing into the chest. And we can rotate this dude, and basically the direction it's facing is where it's going to put stuff. So what we could say, I'm not sure how the sidedness of this works, but we're going to test it. Okay. The things we're going to need are gold, iron, redstone. Do we have any more silicon? I can get some. I'll get a half a stack of silicon to get us going. And diamonds, right? And I'll just get a few of you. That should work. So middle clicking, remember, automatically puts one into your inventory. If you like shift middle click, it picks up one at a time. If you shift middle click, it'll put one at a time into your inventory. If you middle click, it'll put one at a time onto your cursor. And then if you, not pulverizer. If you right click, it's half of a stack. So if there's more than 64 in there, you'll get 32. And if there's less than 64, you'll get half of whatever's in there. Cool. Yeah, once you get the hang of interacting with refined storage, you like quickly get to the point where you are of the opinion, like, how did I live without this for so long? Like, I really, getting into either refined storage or applied energistics, whichever mod, it's pretty much like a huge position to be in for me. Like, I love when we get to that stage because it really means automation potential is opened up hugely. So what I'm going to do here is probably do this, and we will filter what goes into these two slots, right? And what we'll do is we'll say whitelist, let's do diamonds and silicon in this one, and we'll whitelist gold and iron in this one. Cool. And we will want to servo you with always active. So basically, those things will go in there, right? And then let's hope we can pull out the back of this. We're going to need the two more. We'll do hardened servos here because it doesn't matter, really. Ignored and ignored. And you're going to extract the completed stuff. I don't know what the sidedness is, but hopefully it works. And you will wind up going into another servo, which will be here, which will also have a filter on it. So this filter will be redstone. So basically, we will put in, let's say, gold, silicon, and redstone, right? Gold will go into here, silicon will go into here, and redstone will go into here, waiting for these two to finish their operations. And then we can run this up to here. I'm going to disconnect these so they're not connected. And pretty much anything that these produce will go into here. Does that sound cool? I think that sounds cool. And if anything gets stuck, we'll just have to fix it at some point. So it shouldn't matter. I shouldn't need a filter on this, but I mean, we could put one if we want to. It doesn't matter for now. So let's test it real quick, right? So the recipe would be, if I want an improved processor, we put these three items in, right? So gold, silicon, those things go in, and then they get extracted out, and they're sent up to here, the solderer, which then produces it, and then we'll probably want like an import bus on there. How cool is that? I like it. So now if I want 3 more of these, because that's what I'm going to need for my... So that goes into there and appropriately routes. Cool. And then that gets extracted. And then it goes into here, and those items in the back make their way in eventually, and I think the phrase is, Bob's your uncle. Neat. I like it. Then if we want to automate speed upgrades, for example, all we have to do is add sugar and upgrades to this one, for example. So sugar and blank upgrades can go in there. So then they'll get in and they'll route to that direction to do the full-blown speed upgrade. So let's get an import bus. And I believe an importer is going to need an improved processor. So let's do 1, 2, 3 more of these. And that should be cool. And then we'll come back to that in a sec. So for an importer, we'll basically want a destruction core. And there you go. And then we'll say to basically import off of that. And then boom, it'll suck that stuff in. And we're cool. Nice. Now if we want to make speed upgrades, that's going to need sugar, which we don't have at the moment. So I'm going to go get some from my really far away and should be closer sugarcane farm. Why are you all the way over there, sugarcane? Probably because I haven't needed it since I planted it. But we're at the point where we need it, so let's go get it. So that saved us a lot of effort. And actually works pretty cool so far. We'll have to see if it continues to be cool. I'm hoping it will. Sand. Yeah, that's what I want. It doesn't have to be sand, I know that. But I want it to be sand. That should be cool for me. So that sugarcane can grow over there. And meanwhile, let's... I guess what I'll do is teach you that sugarcane turns into sugar. Cool. So now we know how to make sugar out of sugarcane. And in order to build patterns for this guy, we need a very special machine. And we will talk about what that special machine is right now, as soon as I remember the name of it, because I don't. It's something something making stuff. Something something has to do with things. Crafter. Something something, where are you at? Where is the thing anymore? Unless it doesn't exist anymore. Does it no longer exist? Is it no longer a separate block? Did that change? Hey, look, it's no longer a separate block. That's cool. You click this processing button, and this is how you define stuff to be processed, right? So if I want, for example, to say, how do I make advanced processors, right? I would say 1 diamond and 1 silicon and 1 redstone will make an advanced processor. And then I write that to that thing. Can I get like 3 more of you? We're missing glass. We're not that much missing glass. I can get 4 more for the time being. So that's neat. So that's a different thing from the way it worked in 110. So then I put this in here, and what it'll do is it'll say, I'm going to put diamond, silicon, and redstone into this chest. And I expect after a period of time, whatever period of time that is, I will get an advanced processor. And the way it works is the items route appropriately, and then the import bus sucks in the advanced processor. And that should work. So if we were to go upstairs and say, hey, similar pattern, if I wanted to, I could do gold, silicon, and that'll get me one of these dudes, right? Then we can pop down here and put that in. Boom. So now if I said, hey, give me... So I've got 4 of these. Let's get 1 more just to demonstrate, right? Missing silicon, so I'm going to put that in there. Cool. It's good. I hit start. The items route appropriately. And then it'll receive that item when it's done, courtesy of the import bus. Come on, there you go. Could probably add like some speed upgrades or something to make it so that those items traverse the pipes a little bit more quickly. But it doesn't matter. And then we're cool. Nice. So that's how to make vanilla crafting recipes and machine crafting recipes in 1.12. That's neat. And then refined storage, we have an improved processor. Nice. So if I want to do an upgrade, So you are not a processing thing. You're a vanilla crafting recipe thing. So I do that, and you should be cool right there. You just need some more glass, which, man, I'm really getting to be in a bad position with glass, aren't I? Like, huge to-do list, more glass. So you know how to make those blank upgrades. Let's teach you how to do speed upgrades. So to do processing, if I just do speed upgrade here and hit plus, it should say sugar, redstone, and upgrade equals that. Neat. The only thing to make this really work is I have to still craft an upgrade. So we're missing silicon, so let's put that in there. Let's also put you guys away. Printed silicon, I'm gonna put all this away. And I'm gonna put my improved processors in there. So now when I hit upgrade, it's already got the improved processor it needs, so it's just gonna make one. And then sugarcane, I should say as well. Cool. So I'll create that pattern. We'll stick it in here. I will put in the whitelist, upgrade, and sugar. And then if I put these in here and I say speed upgrade, please, what'll happen, we'll see those 3 items go directly into this guy. And he should automatically process and then be import bust into the system. How cool is that? So the only thing that might happen, it shouldn't be too bad, but we might want to be careful about it. Was one potential problem is it could wind up putting the sugar in here like while it's waiting for the silicon to be processed. So if that starts to become a problem, there's an issue that we'll see it happen, and then we will take corrective action to make sure it stops happening. So long story short, I should have speed upgrades now. So if I want 3 more speed upgrades, I need more glass. Really, really big to-do list. Need sand. Nap time. Cool. So we've got basic AutoCrafting up and running. All right, so let's get ourselves more sand and more glass, therefore. And now, if I said, hey, get me more crafting upgrades, or more speed upgrades, like 3 more of them, that would be cool. They should all do the thing they need to do. I'm gonna throw a speed upgrade in there just to make it a little bit faster. Nice. All right, so it's working really nice, as a matter of fact. So that's pretty spiffy, and then we'll get our speed upgrades. So that's AutoCrafting. That is cool. What else should I do with this system before we wrap up the episode for now? Well, there will be way more AutoCrafting going on in the near future. You know what I could teach it is storage disks. Like maybe if you made 4K storage disks for me. Oh, I should make you JEI synchronized so I can do 4K storage disks. So I'm going to want you to know how to make 1K parts. Oh, but you should not be a processing mode. By the way, if you shift right click this thing, it like clears it, and that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna need more patterns. Get ourselves some glass. Come here, buddy. Cool, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. And eventually we'll teach it how to make glass automatically. So then if I want 4K storage parts, basically we want a 1K storage part, so you need to know how to make that. And then you need to know how to upgrade it to a 4K. And then I'm going to want you to know how to turn it into a 4K storage disk, which should be like so. And the only other part of this you might not know how to make is basic processors. So I don't think I taught you the basic processor yet. So we'll do iron, redstone, and silicon. We'll make basic processors, which you don't yet know how to make. So let's do, if I just put these in, this should test that functionality works appropriately. So these guys cook up, they spit out. This guy, if I get my speed upgrades now, because they should be done cooking, will operate a little bit more quickly. Boom. So now basic processor, you know how to make those. So the basic processor pattern goes in here, the rest of the patterns go in here. And now, in theory, I should be able to tell it to make a 4K storage disk. I'm missing silicon, and that's about it. So if I got some more quartz, and I smelted that, we should be in good shape. let's get about a dozen. And then we'll test making another 4K storage disk. So lots of operations will have to occur to get this to work, but it should work out. Oh, did it put the wrong silicon in there? One of these guys got the wrong silicon inserted into him. So I think what I can do, if I turn off this and I put this in here, nice. Okay, cool. And then we tell it this. Now what I could do, by the way, is rewrite that so that it uses the right silicon, but I could also say OR dictionary and write that. And what that'll do is it'll use the OR dictionary, so it'll use any silicon as long as they share the same OR dictionary entry. So now we do a 4K, it's got everything it needs. I hit start and we should see all kinds of things happening. So you're making the things you need to make, and then you're coming up here and you're making the 3 things you need to make. And that's pretty cool. The slowest part of this now is the item conduits, which we could easily speed up. Now, if we look, we should have a 4K storage disk, which we can add to this dude. Boom. And now we have more storage space. Awesome. All right, definitely wrapping up point. Definitely time to call an episode. I might mine a little bit between episodes because we're getting to the point where I'm getting low on things like gold. And that would be a good time to come back next episode and set up the export bus for metal processing. But for now, Dial20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.